Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new Tesla and in this video actually Nvidia update video. So today as per usual, let's go over Tesla and Nvidia. Let's talk about the market and let's talk about what I expect into really next week and all that good stuff. So as per usual, if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And of course, my membership section is live. That link is of course down below in the description of the video. For just $2.99, you can access all my intraday thoughts, posts, updates, technical analysis, options flow, etc. on Tesla and Nvidia for $4.99 if you want Nvidia as well, and sometimes just the market stuff in general as a whole. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. But I am a little bit under the weather, so I am going to just kind of power through, make this video relatively quick, just kind of give you the main information, and we'll leave it at that for Tesla and then Nvidia right after at the end of the video. So Tesla closing the day up about 4.5%, closing at just above $220 per share, which is a nice outperformance compared to the market. So one thing that's good is the fact that we gapped back above and we actually held above 215, which is pretty crucial, and we closed pretty much right at a resistance point of 220. Main thing I'll be looking for moving into next week is going to be pretty simple. I want to continue holding above 220. Honestly, even 221 will be a little bit safer. You can see back here how many times this was a massive area of resistance. Now we're coming into it as a massive potential area of rather support, and we're coming into it as a potential area of resistance here. So, you definitely want to turn this area back into a support, right? So you can see resistance here, and now we're entering it as a technically, or rather support here, resistance right now. So you want to be careful with that. You want to definitely see this area turn back into a support as opposed to what it is right now, which is a resistance, right? That'll be the main thing I'll be looking for. The main reason, or the main way I'll be kind of eyeballing to see if that comes to fruition, honestly, on the 1 hour chart, really is going to come down to this little kind of almost like wedge that we're setting up, right? From all the lows all the way back down here. You can see we bounced off of this several times. We got very close to it yesterday, massive gap up. And then, of course, we have this little downtrend right above us. So pretty much anything above really 222, honestly, as early as Monday will be pretty bullish, up to 225, maybe come back down to retest the breakout and then move up higher. So it can look something like this, right? And then I think we'll come up to about the mid-ish 230s, we'll say, somewhere around there, which will be my next target, which I expect a bit of a breather from there most likely as we head into September. Or if we ultimately make our way back down like this and pretty much lose, if it happens, let's say sometime on Tuesday or Wednesday, losing really 214, 215, we'll most likely have this downtrend resume. Well, I don't know if resume, will continue or start or whatever you want to call it, right? But essentially we'll probably start downtrending and make our way back down to probably the low 200s once again. So definitely watch out for that. And those are the main things I'll be looking at for Tesla moving into early-ish next week, early to mid next week. The daily chart still looks pretty good in my opinion, right? Pretty solid daily chart. We finally have a higher high in the BX trender. Stochastic, still my only main concern. It is a bearish crossover. This is probably my biggest concern on Tesla moving into next week and even the weeks beyond, really. But otherwise, everything else looks pretty good. RSI still looks good. MACD still looks good. Everything on the daily chart to me, honestly, looks pretty damn good, other than the stochastic with the bearish crossover. So we'll see how much that really means and if everything else can outweigh that. And don't forget, like I mentioned yesterday, we did pretty much bounce almost exactly off that 0.382 Fibonacci, which is bullish because we didn't retrace too much lower, and bouncing off of this kind of retracement after this massive uptrend, at least so far, is a good sign. That is a bullish sign, bullish momentum as well after the Jackson Hole event today as well. So those are the main things I'm looking at. And finally, quickly, the weekly chart on Tesla, arguably is breaking back up and above this downtrend on this multi-year downtrend resistance line, right? But again, we've kind of been slicing through and above and below this resistance line quite some time, or quite a few times. So not sure how much I like it at the very moment. Honestly, I'd be looking mainly at the more horizontal resistances, but we're pretty much closing right at, if not slightly above it. So take it as you will, but the weekly chart has officially shown its first higher high on the BX trender, which is a potential promising sign for Tesla that this downtrend may have finally, have finished and stalled out. So that could be a potential, promising sign moving into the next few weeks, potentially, where, I think we'll eventually get up to about the mid 230s and probably stall out from there, and then maybe get a small correction from there as we head into middle-ish of September. That's kind of my rough guess at the moment. Now, that's my Tesla analysis. Let's jump into Nvidia really quickly. I'll just, again, combine the two very quickly here. Closing up about 4.5% as well, just shy of, well, not really just shy, but 129 point, we'll just say $3 per share. So Nvidia is also a bit of an interesting situation here. We had a false breakout yesterday massive red candle back into the trend line, and then we ended up going right back above the trend line once again. So yesterday seemed like a potential massive bear trap, right? Nvidia definitely still has similar issues as Tesla. The daily chart still looks phenomenal. The only concern, bearish crossover on the stochastic, right? That's the main thing I'll be looking for. But for Nvidia, really, honestly, you really want to see it start pushing and closing daily candles above 130, right? Pushing and closing daily candles above 130, even 1 hour candles above 130 and holding would be bullish. And I think if that were to happen, you can probably see 135 within a few days of it happening, essentially, right? So that's kind of what I'll be looking at for Nvidia moving forward, right? 130, very important level. Getting above it, holding above it, and closing at least 1 hour candles, ideally daily candles above it, yields 135. However, if we drop anything below even 126.5 roughly, that already can signal some downside, and anything below 123 will most likely signal Nvidia to come down to at least 120 to 117, where there is quite a lot of support, right? You have the market bias down there, you have the 21 EMA down there, you have the 50-day moving average somewhere just above there as well at about 120. So those are the ranges that if we do come down, I do expect some pretty nice support for Nvidia around 120 to 117. But ultimately, I'd be looking for essentially a break above 130 with the bullish momentum the market had today to continue upwards to about 135 if it were to actually happen, right? So again, 130 very important, and pretty much anything below, like I said, on the 1 hour chart, anything below 126.5 is already, you know, a little bit concerning, and especially below about 123 will yield 120 to 117 at least, in my opinion. So those are the things I'm looking for moving into this week. Quick little video. Want to just kind of get in there, get it out quick. You know, that's just kind of how I do it. Options flow on Tesla, for instance, right? You can see looking pretty damn good for the most part, right? Nice amount of decent bullish flow coming in as well. But yeah, by the way, Chatter Flow, link down below if you want to use it. It's a great option service. I have a link to it with a discount code as well if you want to use it. Nvidia options flow, you can take a quick look as well. I got to refresh. I haven't refreshed it in a while. Nice little sweeper came in towards the end of the day as well. Actually, that's very nice to see. Nvidia, a lot of bullish flow as well. You can see a lot of green over here, some red in between, but definitely more bullish and bearish flow as well. So yeah, I mean, things are looking good. I think the market's looking good. We have a lot of uncertainty out of the way with the Jackson Hole event that just happened. So I wouldn't be surprised if the market continues ripping on Monday. I really wouldn't. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. You know the levels to look out for, you know what to do, and you know what I am looking for as well. So that's it for the video. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.